If you can do that the whole time that we're recording, I will pay you.
I can for sure do it. I do.
I'll give you $5.
I'll pay you $100 if you can do that.
That's $105.
It's gonna be really annoying for everybody watching, but I could easily do this.
Yeah.
For an hour?
Yep.
No, don't do that. That will make your job suck when you go to edit this video. The other day I was thinking about this time where I was really sick. And as you know, we've talked about this before, but as you know, like I'll have friends offer me suggestions of shows to watch.
I don't even want, I'm upset already.
I know, you hate this. And like, so Taylor all the time would be like, oh, I just started watching this amazing show. You know, insert name here. And then he'll go, you should really watch it. And I'll look it up. And if it's something that I feel actually would be worth watching, I don't watch it. And instead I put it in the bank to pull out when I know I'm going to be admitted to the hospital for a long time.
Jared, I've got a really good idea for you.
What's this?
You should start watching everything that Taylor tells you to and not save it. And then when you go to the hospital and you get admitted, just start Grey's Anatomy. There's plenty of episodes to watch. You know, you could probably do 4 or 5 admissions.
That would be like voluntarily eating double the amount of hospital food.
I can't imagine a more pathetic life than to be, and I'm sorry for anybody who's hearing this and you've gone through it, but to be in a hospital where you can't leave and you decide that the only thing you're going to ingest other than the environment that you are in is more hospital in a fucking show called Grey's Anatomy.
Is like a shitty made medical drama.
Oh, guys, but I imagine that if you were laying in bed feeling really shitty and the nurses are coming and going and the doctor's coming in and there's all the people, it would be sort of like Grey's Anatomy in your head because you could like create these narratives around the people that are coming and going.
I have a question for you, Brian.
That actually for real gives me a bit of anxiety.
Has anybody on Grey's Anatomy are there any are there any reveals where somebody is like, oh my God, my cousin is actually my mother? Where like a soap opera? Like, has Timmy come into?
Are you talking about
my husband's my brother?
Was that a Passions reference?
Yeah, because soap opera because Grey's Anatomy is 16 seasons. 16 seasons.
16,
17?
16 or 17.
And the only shows that go that long
are bad shows.
Are bad soap
guys,
opera shows.
I want to say honestly,
we're gonna get so much hate.
Hey, listen.
We're gonna get so much hate.
You know what? I'm
77, like 99% of our listeners are female. We're going to get so much hate.
Hey guys,
because I know the ladies love that show.
I just want to say, I have to come clean about something. I've probably only watched a total of 10 Grey's Anatomy episodes in my life.
Liar.
This is the twist.
Yeah.
This is the crazy twist. Are you?
I'm not joking.
Do you even do CrossFit?
So wait.
Wait.
Does this mean that are you just well read into the show?
So,
how the fuck do you know everything about the show?
He just reads Grey's Wiki.
I will explain.
Not even the Wikipedia page. Grey's Wiki.
There is
dude, you know that there's a site called Grey's Wiki
that definitely
and it templates every single episode.
Guys, I watched most of one season and it was like season 15. I don't even know what happened in the beginning of Grey's Anatomy.
What's it called? Is it actually called Grey's Wiki?
No, it's greysanatomy.fandom.com. That's what I'm on.
Yeah. Welcome to Grey's Anatomy Universe.
Fandom does wikis for pretty much, I mean, you name it, anything and everything.
I like how that Lululemon ad comes up at the top of the page. Like, perfect place to put a Lululemon ad, isn't it?
Okay, we got a little ahead of ourselves. But what I was saying was I was thinking the other day about how the last time I was really sick. Well, what I was saying was that you give me these show recommendations. I don't watch it, but I do watch it when I'm in the hospital, and I won't do what you just suggested. And then I was thinking about the last thing that I did binge watch when I was really sick. I wasn't in the hospital, but I was home, really sick, and I was watching. I actually fell deeply in love with what is that fucking prank show of the
Impractical Jokers?
Impractical Jokers. I swear to God, if that's a guilty pleasure, it is my deep guilty pleasure. Those guys,
I've only seen a bit of it.
They're such.
I think they're pretty universally liked.
It's very funny. Like they're such doofusy doofus dudes, but they're so fun. And anyway. So I was thinking about pranks and how much, like, do I like it because of them or do I like it because I love pranks? And I think I love it because I do love a really good prank. And where I'm going with this, I also just happened to see a little prank video that, Brian, I think you're really going to enjoy.
I can't wait.
This is a prank video in a hospital on the cancer ward.
Jer, I just want to say before you play this, I think Impractical Jokers is like the Grey's Anatomy of prank shows. It's like it is, and because Kenny versus Benny fans would be like,
isn't Punk the Grey's Anatomy of prank shows?
There's a lot of them.
Yeah,
There's a lot of Grey's Anatomies of genres. Punked would be one of them, and so is Impractical Jokers.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. I'm sure there's people out there that are going to agree, just like they agree with you on Grey's Anatomy, and people that disagree.
And I like Impractical Jokers.
Like so here, if the Impractical Jokers are
sense.
looking to hire, if one of the guys dies for some reason and they need a new Impractical Joker, I think this is their next up and coming star. Oh, little buddy.
That was
So someone put that little fucker up to going to scare the living shit out of the nurse.
Was that a child or a little person?
That was a child.
Okay, it was hard to tell because they were wearing a mask.
Let's just watch that again. And folks at home, watch that again with what Taylor just said in the back of your mind.
I mean, overwhelmingly child vibes.
I would say,
Okay, I didn't see the very first part. You're right.
You didn't see, we were all watching at the exact same time.
No, I know, but yeah. See here,
that laugh is very
and
much.
Also the laugh was the laughing, but we can't really hear it that well.
Oh my god, I love that you that you really had to question that, and especially I love that is on record.
Hey, listen, Taylor, I just want to say,
hey,
there's nothing wrong with that question.
There is nothing wrong with that question.
There isn't.
Yeah.
You know why? Because if how often do you know how many times I've been on a plane with my hair down and somebody, because I since I started riding my bike, I have quite a slight frame. You know how many times I've been tapped on the shoulder and said like, ma'am, miss, when I'm putting stuff up and I turn around and I have a face full of hair.
Perfect example of why you should never assume anyone's gender and or pronouns.
And Jim Tonight, I guarantee, how many times do you think Jim Tonight from behind has been mistaken as a child?
For folks who don't know, Jim is a past guest that we had on the show who is a person who has extreme dwarfism. Awesome talking to Jim. And speaking of fucking YouTube, since this is on YouTube, and if you want to watch this, go to our YouTube page, Sick Boy, on YouTube. But Jim and his son also have a YouTube page, and it's a fucking riot. The two of them have dwarfism, and they are super fun to watch chat and just talk about life, living with dwarfism, and pretty much like anything and everything. They're a great team. But that little video of that little person and or child, can't really quite tell, scaring the shit out of that nurse reminded me, I think, of probably the greatest prank.
I was going to ask you, what is the greatest prank that you guys have pulled?
The greatest prank that I've pulled, I don't know. I could go into it, but it's a really long story. But I wanted to mention the greatest prank ever pulled on me while I was in the hospital. And I think we may have talked about this on the show before, but I was in the intensive care unit. I think it was like the day after you two fuckers walked in trying to like acting like a bunch of clowns, trying to make me laugh. And I was like, am I dead? Like not okay.
That was sad.
Yeah, I think it was like a really sobering moment for the two of you to go, oh,
It was just poorly timed.
but he's not okay.
we should have done that the next day and it would have been fine.
For Taylor and I, we thought it was funny.
Hey,
at the end of the day, we thought it was funny,
I think it's
right?
funny. I was too drugged up to know what the fuck was going
Yeah,
on.
it was sad in the moment, funny in hindsight.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, I was so fucked up on drugs while I was in the intensive care unit Didn't know where I was. It was all a blur. The only thing I really remember, aside from you two guys walking in, was having my catheter pulled out. And this moment.
Fuck.
I thought that was the prank.
No. that was the prank where he goes, okay, ready?
never
Here it
ends.
goes. Whoa, it's never ending. And I was like, why is this colorful ribbon? No, it was, I got a package. I got a box. And the nurse, so it got sent to the intensive care unit. Nurse brings it up and she goes, hey, you got a package. And I'm like, huh? Oh, and I take it and I'm like trying to like open it. And while I'm trying to open it, she's like, no, I'm just going to check your vitals. And so she's, checking my heart rate and she's checking my blood pressure and my heart rate and my O2 stats and all this stuff. And she's taking like notes and I'm like slowly like getting into this box. Taking vitals takes like, 5 minutes of like various things. I finally get the box open. And this is exactly what I pulled out of the box. And the nurse looks at me and goes,
pink though. The one that you got is pink.
The one that, yeah, it was this, but it had a pink outline. And the nurse just looks at me and I'm so fucking confused looking at her being like, I think in part of my head going like,
well, can you go back to that?
Did you bring this for me? Like, is this from you? Like, what the fuck is going on here?
So this is a P. It's got a P and a V, a B and a V dildo. So you're double dildoed.
It's a triple dildo strap on. So you've got one dildo that would fit in a butthole.
2 inputs, 1 output.
One dildo that could also fit in a vagina. So that which is inserted into the person that's wearing it. And then you've got one on the front that you'd be fucking with.
Guys, we're never going to be able to monetize these videos.
I actually was wondering if that image, you might have to blur that entire image out. But we did a good job of describing it.
You know what I think is...
I don't know. I don't know how YouTube works.
The thing that I think is really challenging about that device is it feels really impractical to put on. Because like you have to like... It seems like a lot of maneuvering to put on.
You need somebody to help
Lauren's
you.
making a face. It looks like she's tried it on. How hard was it?
So much lube.
So much
lube. You either have to be so aroused.
Needs to be very wet.
Yeah, exactly. You either have to have a WAP or be using a bunch of lube.
A WAP.
Yeah.
But preferably both.
I mean, you're also going to want to have
a WAB.
A WAB. Yeah, you're going to want to have a WAB for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could, which is
then,
not easily manually done.
And then you got to figure out what kind of WAB or WAP you're going to stick it into.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's a very complicated device.
It's a logistical nightmare.
So here's the fucking crazy thing. I still have that. And
it cured your CF?
Yeah.
Well, what was the
I got rid of my CF.
What was the reaction from the nurse?
She, from what I remember, I think she was just like, oh, and left. It was just like pure like shock. And then she just left.
How satisfying is it when you find yourself in a situation where you're going, this makes them uncomfortable, but I'm just delighted in their discomfort. And it is why I know we talked about this on the Patreon episode. It's why I love watching people watch Your Mom's House.
I do love watching people squirm
because I go, oh, I love how much you hate this.
Yeah. And when we first started doing virtual live shows and we started doing the medical talks, roulette. I mean, I have friends. I have like good friends who like really show up every time we do something to support the show. And they were like, it was good, but I had to turn your shit off once we got to and I was like, sweet. Yeah, because I do like it does. I do love it.
See, you guys are like sweet. I'm like, oh, man, I'm so sorry.
Brian, hate you. You really do hate it.
Sorry.
Well, that's why I love it.
And that's why I promise you, I didn't prep any of that shit for today, Bri. This is all for you.
Don't prep any of that shit ever again.
Definitely not going to promise that.
Definitely not going to promise that. But yeah, so again, the prank, to whoever sent me that dildo, strap-on dildo, thank you.
Guys, I'm really glad that we separated these Feel Good Friday episodes out from those Wednesday episodes with the professionals,
medical professionals,
with people with a lot of value to say. I'm glad that they can listeners can choose to skip this conversation if they
because now that we've separated it, it does highlight how insane it was to have those conversations beside each other. Yeah. I mean, like we had we had a conversation, and you know, y'all are seeing this and hearing this maybe on Friday when it drops, and next Wednesday we're gonna have a really important conversation coming out about Bill C7 here in Canada, about medical assistance in dying, and with a friend of ours, Mark Hennick, and when you put that conversation beside the triple dildo, it's just so stark.
It is so stark, but also there's a part of it tastes pretty good. I really enjoy it. I do enjoy it. There's something, I believe the word is irreverent.
Hey, Jared, I feel like we get the best of both worlds with being able to have these conversations on Friday and not preface those other episodes with these conversations.
I'm just going back through our past episode titles, and we had an economist on from like a prestigious, I think, think tank, and the title was "Clean Your Booty Hole: the Economics of a Global Pandemic."
I would also like to say, if the episode was titled "Spoke to an Economics Professor from Oxford,"
that's true.
No,
fair point.
Yeah, you're gonna go. That sounds boring.
So we're still gonna title episodes, you know, such and such booty hole, even though.
Well, this coming Wednesday's episode about the Bill C17 is
C7.
Oh, sorry, C7 is booty hole cleaned. The effects of Bill C7 on mental illness.
And booty holes.
And you can quote me on that. I got, so this one's for Brian here, since Brian seemingly hates the fucking show now.
Hell yeah.
Guys,
I like Monday and Wednesday episodes. I don't listen to our Friday episodes.
This is terrible.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, guys. I love these conversations.
Really not good for the brand.
I love these conversations.
Really bad.
Guys,
Brian, stop being off brand.
Guys, if I was a Sick Boy episode, I would be a Monday or a Wednesday episode. I'd probably be a Monday episode. Taylor, you'd probably be a Wednesday episode. Jerry, you embody the Friday episodes.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually so true.
Yeah, that is true. I'm going to throw to this. So have you, we're all familiar with with types of animals that are used for therapy. So like dog therapy.
Penguin therapy?
No, come on.
Alpaca.
I've seen that.
Dogs. Right. Sure. Okay. I'm not gonna yuck a yum, but I'm gonna say that's kind of rare, right? So like typically it's what?
More rare than dogs.
More rare than dogs for sure. Typically it's dogs. You'll see cats sometimes.
One of my best friends just did yoga with goats this past weekend in Florida.
Goat yoga is all the rage.
Really
popular, yeah.
Oh.
I didn't realize that
it's messy as fuck. But
equine therapy was such a popular thing. So horses apparently make really amazing therapy animals. And this was shared to us by one of our patrons, Sadie. Sadie, thank you for this. This is an article from The Guardian titled Dr. Payo, the horse comforting cancer patients in Calais in pictures. So this is it's a photo essay about this horse that is caring for cancer patients in France.
Oh my God. Guys, it's in the fucking hospital.
It's in the hospital. So,
wait, was this
a John Mulaney
John Mulaney
bit? Yeah. A horse in a hospital.
I saw John Mulaney here when he did that bit. Holy shit, it was funny.
Yeah. So with this picture, it says, in the palliative care center at Calais Hospital in northern France, Marion, 24, who has metastatic cancer, cuddles her 7-year-old son, Ethan, as Payo nuzzles them both.
Oh my God.
Quote, with Payo, we try to recreate life at the end of life in order to fight and create an energy to accompany families and caregivers, says his trainer, Hassan Bouchak. I'm going to fuck this name up. Bouchakor. I'm going to go with Bouchakor. Yeah. Payo and Bouchakor work with Les Sabateaux du Cure. Fuck off, Sadie. I know you're at home laughing at me mispronouncing this. An organization devoted to therapy and with scientists who are studying Payo's ability to reduce patients' anxiety and comfort people in pain. So some of the photos that go along,
guys, I just have to ask you: are you fucking moved by this photo?
Just,
oh my god! Yeah.
Just wait until you see.
Have any of you watched BoJack Horseman?
Yeah, but this photo is super moving, and guys, I just want to say that that photo feels to me like a Grey's Anatomy episode. So if you like that, I think you would probably like Grey's Anatomy.
Wow.
You know what's really funny is I don't doubt it. I actually fully
they bring a horse into
feel
the
like
hospital.
that is probably true.
It gets me in the feely goodies. It's
I am a little bit caught off guard about the potential sanitation sort of issues around having a horse
that
shits anywhere.
They get into that.
Let me tell you.
Oh, really?
Let me tell you about the barrier of sanitation.
So, I mean, now with
I want to show you this next one.
God, that is.
That's a good boy.
Do they have a poop basket for it?
For sure.
Good boy, good girl.
So, yeah. At the hospital, Payo tells his trainer which room he wants to enter next by stopping or raising his leg.
No.
Payo is 15 and seems able to detect when humans have cancers and tumors. He stayed nearly 2 hours here, watching over a dying woman. Quote, I accompany him, but I let him do what he wants. He's the one who decides, says Bouchakor. What really pushed scientists to take an interest in him and open the health establishment doors to us was this seeming ability to greatly reduce the patient's dosage of all hard drugs and thus allow a more peaceful departure.
Oh, man.
You know,
there's a number of other photos to keep going through, but yeah.
Those photos that you showed are really beautifully shot too and framed.
I've
very well done.
I haven't spent very much time around horses, but
they scare me.
I was at a thing a couple of years ago just outside Atlanta, and the person that was I was at this sort of conference thing, and the person that was running it had this luncheon at his ranch, and his wife is
sounds like a cult thing.
His wife.
It sounds like you're about to get fucked and lose all your money.
It's an Olympic cult where his wife is one of the coaches for the U.S. equestrian team for the Olympics, and they have a facility there for equestrian and everything, and they have a lot of horses. And
dude, I would never go to a luncheon at a ranch. That sounds dangerous.
If you were there, you would have gone.
How many weapons were on the premises?
Oh, I'm sure there was a few.
I've seen those.
I'm sure there was a few. So anyway, there's a lot of horses, and there's a lot of really super powerful, impressive, because they're breeding them to be these be the top of the top for horses in these athletic feats. And there was a horse that had just been born 2 days before, and that was incredible to see because it was just this little baby horse. But then also these massive, and you're looking at these horses and you're going, there's something about them that you can just, when you're maybe on a mountaintop for the first time, you go to see the Grand Canyon or something like that. That's just majestic.
Striking.
And you can just sit there and look at it forever. Yeah. The horses are very much these big, impressive horses are very much the same way, where you're just going, it's crazy that you're there and you just have this presence that is hard to put your finger on, and there's just so much power. And
even miniature horses are like that.
Little Sebastian. Yeah. Oh my God, it's little Sebastian.
I'm also just binging Parks and Rec as well.
So am I.
Yeah.
This one here, you can see Payo as being pet while the medical team helps this woman, Marion, with her pain relief for
look at Payo's braids.
Metastatic cancer.
I know the braids though, for sanitation, because you can't have stray hairs.
Yep, almost certainly.
This one here, outside in the car park of Calais Hospital, it's the end of the day of the working day for Hassan Bouchakor and Dr. Payo. Since 2016, we have supported around 1,000 people until their last breath in the various services in which we operate. Payo is my other half. He is my life partner. He is everything to me, says Bouchakor. Boshakar.
There's a Mr. Hands joke in
Yeah,
there.
way to make it weird at the end. With,
There's
Mr.
I mean,
Hands
you
there.
gotta,
man,
you can't avoid it.
If you're like, you look at this animal though, like think about how much you love your dog.
The kid's riding.
Imagine your dog was Clifford the big red dog. Like I feel like and don't take this the wrong way, Tay. I feel like the bigger your dog, the more love you have for it. Like when I see,
I'm not sure if that applies.
I know, but just let me finish this.
I
When
agree
I
with you,
see
Jared.
Great Danes, I go, that guy, that owner loves that Great Dane 25 times larger and taller than Loki.
you know why that is?
'Cause there's
Because
more-
bigger dogs seem more human-like.
I mean, now think about this guy and his horse.
Dude, and horses seem like you can tell that they sense every emotion and feeling that is going through your body, even when you're completely still. Like they sense you on such a level.
Yeah.
It's
Guys,
crazy.
I hate to say it, but Jared, I think you're right. Just think about cats. Cats to dogs to horses.
I mean, it is
kinda
weird. Like
makes
if Loki
sense.
died
No one
today,
loves
I
it.
don't
No
know
one-
if I'd even really notice.
You wouldn't. And no one loves a cat, right? We all know this, right, Lauren? No one loves a cat.
I
love my cat.
I love my cat too.
So much. I thought he was gonna die last week, and I was like a mess. There was a
It's horrible.
Yeah, when I was moving out with my ex from my ex's place that we had, I was trying to find a new place to live, and like all I could find was places that was like no cat, and I was like distraught because I was like, well, I have to leave here, but I can't.
That's a weird
not
thing
have
to
my
see.
cat. Yeah,
No cat? I don't think
Yeah.
I think I've seen no pets, but I don't think I've ever seen like
It was-
apartments where it goes,
it was like
fucking pussies.
no cat.
Those aren't coming in here.
Exactly. But like the situation was I signed a lease to a no cat place without like realizing it. It's a long story. Anyway,
They're like
I was-
horses only.
Yeah, exactly. It was a horse only apartment building. And so I was like facing having to either like give my cat to my parents in Texas or like give it up basically because in Nova Scotia you can get evicted for having a pet. Anyway,
Whoa.
I was like distraught and upset, and my ex was like, "Are you more upset about getting rid of your cat?"
Oh no.
And I was like, "Yes."
Yeah. Well, I mean, you didn't break up with your cat.
Exactly.
Like those, you know what though? Those words are gonna stick with him for a few years. He's a bummed out.
You know, I think it might be in Toronto, and correct me if I'm wrong. If people with the internet at their fingertips, where in Toronto they have like I think it's something in the municipal code that it's discriminatory to not allow somebody to rent an apartment because they have a pet.
I think that's pretty amazing.
When I was
Yeah.
working in
Because
Me
again, we're talking about fucking therapy animals, and
Mm-hmm.
like, I know not every fucking dog is a therapy dog. I know that not every cat is a therapy cat.
but there's
But God
therapeutic
damn it, dude!
benefits to
Yeah,
having them.
like everyone
Yeah.
who has a dog and cares for a dog, or everyone who has a cat and cares for a cat. I'm not gonna say everyone who has a dog because there's some shitheads out there, but
Yeah.
everyone who cares for their animal, that is therapy for you.
And there's also
therapy for them.
there's also
Like,
physical therapy involved, more so for owning dogs because they have to go for walks. You have to get outside. You have
Dude.
to bring them. Like
that is, I need a dog. Like that is like one of the things that will just ensure that I get out and like move my fucking body because I'm a slug. I'm a fucking slug, and you can't be a slug with CF.
Guys, I had a pet rat
Or a slug with a
before,
dog.
and
pet
having
rat?
a pet rat,
Oh.
pet rats are fucking sweet.
I had a pet python, and I fed him pet rats.
oh wow,
You fed him mice, dude. They're different.
No, we fed him rats. We fed him mice. We fed.
Fuck.
I'm gonna not go any further with what he fed him. Isaac 9 is proud to. This is actually really cute.
Can you give a hint?
Isaac 9
Small
is
French
proud.
bulldogs.
Brian J. He just spent $3,000 per meal.
Yeah, we're taking.
Fed him-
You only had to feed them
fed him
every,
Frenchie
once every
puppies.
6
That's
months.
right.
So.
Fed him once a year. This is Isaac. He's 9, and he's proud to show off his new friend Payo to his mother, who was just coming out of surgery. Quote, Isaac has associated the hospital with Payo. Today, if he is happy to come to the hospital to see his mother, it is thanks to this horse, says his father, Thomas.
Guys, I live for this. More of this content, please.
Payo licks the hand of 64-year-old Roger, who has just returned for the day to the palliative care unit for a blood transfusion. I love this photo. It's fucking super beautiful. And then here's the sanitation one. So it says here, Beauchecor is always very careful with hygiene, and Payo is washed and disinfected before and after hospital visits. It takes 2 hours to get the horse ready. Quote, when I clean him with disinfectant wipes, it is to protect him, says Beauchecor. Luckily, he likes it. Payo has learned to indicate when he needs to go outside by moving his body from left to right. Or sorry, right to left. That's
they trained him not to pee and poo inside?
In the hospital. This caption was amended on 15th of March 2021 to remove a quote which incorrectly indicated that no transmissible disease is passed from horses to humans. Well, we'll just go right.
Sorry, can you
on to the next photo there?
Wait, can you reread that? What did
it says this. So this is a part of the the article. It says this caption was amended on the 15th of March 2021 to remove a quote which incorrectly indicated that no transmissible disease is passed from horse to humans. So
because there are not that there was, but there are.
It is a possibility. Yeah, that's an actual thing.
Yeah, there's also diseases that can be passed from human to human.
So I want to
especially in a hospital.
I want to hit these last few ones because this is the one that really struck me earlier this afternoon. This one says Payo is happy to see his old friend Daniel, 67, a former equestrian, who has terminal cancer. Quote, at home, as soon as we speak to Dad about Payo, he cries. He has stars in his eyes, says his son, Gerald.
Whoa, dude, that photo
Daniel
was
died
amazing.
in January, and at the request of the family, Beauchecor and Payo accompanied his coffin at the funeral.
Oh my God.
And here's a photo of Payo and Hassan saying their last goodbye to Daniel, who died of cancer. Of course, he even attended the fucking funeral.
That is so sweet. Man, I would love to own a horse someday. I don't know if I'll ever become that, have that much money, but fuck, they're so sweet.
They're very beautiful. They're very majestic. They do scare me a little bit, but I think if I saw Payo, if I was in the hospital and Payo came in the room, I'd be fucking jacked up. I'd be stoked.
Yeah.
But it's when I'm walking by horses on the
stoked right now.
street. That's where I'm like
cop horses? Are you
cop
you're
horses?
just afraid of cops?
Yeah, that's it. I'm just terrified of police.
You're like,
Hey,
wait,
Taylor?
No, cop horses, but like there's a trail by rails to trails here. We took Bigby for a walk once, and there was a set of horses coming down the trail, and Bigby, who has passed, but it was a very large dog that my wife and I had for 8 years. He was like, "What the fuck are those giants?
Yeah.
These giant dogs with humans riding them,
Yeah.
walking the fucking dog path. What are we doing?" And I was like, "Look at these fucking giants with humans riding them. Like, this
Yeah,
is fucking
you guys are thinking
crazy."
the same thing.
My favorite horse moment of my entire life was when we were like 20 years old. We were on Comrades Beach here on the ocean, and
Oh my God.
and it was a super foggy night, and we had this like big bonfire, and it was we smoked a bunch of weed. We were super high, and we're like listening to some music.
We were
dancing around this-
20-year-old high. Like when Brian says super high, he means like we were super high.
Yeah, and we were
As high as I was when we went to go see Star Wars, and I don't remember.
Yes, that's
what
right.
So
happened
we were
in the film.
we were like dancing around this like big bonfire, and it was so cool because with the thick fog, the fire was casting our shadows into the fog.
It's
Oh,
hard
that's
to
fun.
That's pretty cool.
It's hard to overstate how
It was so cool.
foggy it was.
It was like thick fog, and it
I
was
think that
dark,
does a
and
pretty
was-
good job.
And it was pitch black. Like the only light was coming from this fire that we had, and so we're like dancing around, and all of a sudden, out of like the fog, this like trio of horses just goes trotting by down the beach, and
With
there were
no
people,
owners?
There were people riding them.
Oh, okay.
No lights on, nothing. They just looked at us.
Were they headless?
They didn't say anything.
Were the humans headless?
They might have
humans
been.
were headless.
They might have been headless. You know what it reminds me of now in
I know this
retrospect,
story.
right?
I've read this story before.
Do you guys remember the video where the guy who does the like, this is driving on salvia? Do you remember that video?
Yeah.
And he smokes the salvia in his
Yeah,
car, and he
that's
just
really
obviously
funny.
doesn't go anywhere because he's just tripping balls. And I think that's the point anyway. But do you remember when he like and he sees the cat on the hood of his car? Like that's how I feel like we felt when
Yeah,
we saw
right,
the horses.
yeah.
We were like,
It was so weird.
Is
that
this
they
real?
We didn't say anything. They didn't say anything.
Yeah.
The
and
horses didn't say anything.
The horses didn't say anything.
The horses
The
didn't say
humans
anything.
were like very cordial.
Yeah. And then we just continued to be really high.
Yeah, and it was great.
Yeah. So horses, animals are good. I'm stoked to get my dog this year. I think I really need a therapy animal in my
I'm
life.
stoked for you to get your dog. I'm stoked for to have like a puppy around frequently.
Other animals that are very great animal therapy animals. So we have dogs, cats, horses.
I think it's the bigger the better, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's what's funny to hear in this article. They actually go. Well, actually, they don't. They go dogs, cats,
Blue whales.
dogs, cats, horses, smallies.
I don't know if you have you guys heard of where they do the in hospital therapy with the lions and tigers in Thailand.
You know what? I
It's
couldn't
very-
believe you.
It's very therapeutic.
No,
What?
no.
No.
He's fucking with you. He's fucking with you.
I see the look on.
Don't
your-
go there. Don't go there.
The only thing that like medical related and tigers in Thailand, the only thing that goes together is them actually using pharmaceutical drugs to sedate the tigers. That's the
Yeah,
connection
if
there.
you are
And
if you are in Thailand and you're being
Let's
asked to
not
go
down this road.
into a
This is gonna-
cage
This is gonna bum me
with
out.
a lion
no.
or a tiger that's tame enough for you to be in a cage
No,
with
it's
to
it,
not
get a photo
tame
with for a
enough.
photo op.
Definitely don't do it because I did it and it is one of the biggest regrets of my life.
That use of the word tame is the same way that they use the word tame when they're talking about getting control over one's priapism. They've just drained the life out of that fucking animal.
And
Yeah,
if you
they
want to
put
know about
ice packs
that,
on
if
it.
you want to know about that, go to patreon.com/sickboy.
So the other animals that they have here, they have smallies. So other small animals have been used for more convenient form of therapy. Animals such as guinea pigs. That was the thing that I was gonna not go too far into, but what my snake ate. And rabbits offer the same assistance with comfort and companionship. Fine motor skills and emotional behavioral benefits as their canine coworkers. Smaller pets have the benefit of being easy to contain and care for those individuals who may not be able to care for a dog or a cat.
Well, Jarrett, I'm glad that you actually did come clean and talk about the guinea pigs, but you know what? I can't be upset about it because when we were in Peru, guinea pigs are delicacies.
Hey man, it's the circle of
they eat
life.
them.
It's the circle of life.
And
we all learned that
yeah.
from The Lion King.
Yeah.
You know, we learned that warthogs eat slugs, hyenas eat,
lion cubs.
young cubs.
Dude, the way that they prepare the guinea pig in Peru,
Are we going down that
it's like
road?
it's
Wow.
like this.
It's
It's
a
like
lot.
it's a skinned thing, and it's like this. It's like this, and it's like charred, burnt.
Ooh.
Yeah,
It's just like and it's.
Did you
Is it
eat any of it, Tay?
No, I didn't have it.
Yeah, me neither.
Is it seasoned?
Yeah,
in
you did,
anything?
didn't you?
No, I didn't
Didn't
have
you
any.
get it after we
Wow.
finished?
And here's an image for you right here.
Don't. I'm cutting this out.
No, you're now doing this in post.
Is it the guinea pig?
That is fucked. Oh wow. Wow. What an image.
Hold on, are you looking at the guinea pig, the cooked guinea pig?
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And when you're
It's a
walking
lot.
through markets, there's a bunch of people that are making
But
them.
here's the thing,
think
dude.
Marsha was the
here's
only
the
one
thing.
that ate
I'm sitting here going, wow,
she
that's
got really sick.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here going, wow, that's a lot.
Unsurprisingly.
But I mean, if you go to any butcher, you're going to have giant hooks hanging from the ceiling with carcasses of cows just dangling from those hooks.
Yeah.
It's not that.
We've just normalized certain
Yeah, that's
animals.
Guys, I think I'm
right.
vegan now.
It's not the worst decision.
I'm not going to
could
fight
make.
you on it.
You can roast them. You can curry them. Delicious.
Lauren, that picture that you're looking at is so
He's cute.
jarring because that's such a cute animal,
and
and there are
that's-
people with their hands around.
Yeah, but I
its
mean,
neck.
dude, have you ever watched like cows at a sanctuary being pet by the people who work there?
What's crazy about
cows
the
are
guinea pigs
fucking
is how they
so
prepare
cute.
them, because it is just like when you eat meat.
Yeah, but
you
what
are eating.
about a pig in a pig roast?
I've never done that.
Don't tell me you wouldn't eat guinea pig ice cream because
Oh my god!
Right, I got to put that on the screen. That yum.
Wait, is
Yum,
it
yum,
guinea
yum.
pig? Is it ice cream made with guinea pig milk?
yes. Or no, I think it's made. I don't know. Let me look.
Would you rather have? I don't know why this is a fucking thing, guinea pig ice cream, but sure. Would you rather guinea pig ice cream or ice cream, human breast milk ice cream from a human that you don't know?
Both.
probably breast milk ice cream.
Yeah, I
For
mean,
sure.
breast
I
milk.
would
Breast
love
milk
that.
is just
Be so good.
human food.
Can't you put it that? Can we put that like in a soft
That's
serve
gross.
machine and do a swirl?
Well, I think they do. I think that like that's like there was a ice cream shop in the UK and they did it for a week.
Oh, really?
So yeah. We talked about this on the show. It was years ago. This happened like probably 4 years ago. They did a 1 week thing where they were selling human titty milk ice cream.
How do I not remember that?
And it flew off the shelves.
Really?
They couldn't keep it stocked.
You know, I sort of said that I want to become vegan, sort of like tongue in cheek there, but I think that something that's really interesting is that Maddie's sister Elizabeth got chickens last year, and she like you have to kill the roosters, and she actually went.
You
and
mean
like,
the one like roosters that they like breed?
yeah, so like if you get a group of chickens, like for
What do you call a group of chickens?
flock?
A
I'm
flock?
sure I had a gaggle of chickens. I don't know.
A murder.
But when you get a group of them, you don't want to have a rooster there because it fucks with the hens that are laying.
Hens or a
So-
clutch of chicks.
So I think I'm not sure if you have one rooster, and I don't know the details about this, but I know that you do have to have the roosters or the males killed, and so she went and did it herself,
Wow.
and then kept the meat and ate the meat,
Sure.
Yum.
and it was like a really like eye-opening experience for her, like really to be able to actually take the life of the animal and then eat it is something that like I believe that we should be doing if we're eating meat. You should understand what that's like rather than just like picking up factory farm stuff.
My bucket list item, I don't like using the term bucket list, but if I was to say what my bucket list item would be outside of going to Japan.
We threw a party and the theme was bucket list, so you never told us that.
Yeah, whatever.
Tell me what were you gonna say?
Is to go through the entire process of killing an animal up to serving it on a plate. Namely, not a chicken. I'm talking like a fucking
Like a deer.
deer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking
Yeah.
like a full on the entire process, start to finish.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I want to do it because I
wanna
feel
do-
like to eat meat, you should
That's right.
experience.
I feel
that.
like if you are going to make the decision to accept the fact that you're going to go to a grocery store or a butcher, mind you, and go, I want that slab. And then they take that slab and they put it on the thing, and then you go and you cook it. And that's the entire process of how you get that meat into your body. If you're not willing to actually, I mean, in the very least, accept and look at that process from step A to Z and not just step fucking X to Z, then you're doing yourself a massive disservice. And also I think you're just doing yourself a huge disservice.
Yeah.
You're lying to yourself.
I'll go like a step further and say that I honestly believe that if you want to eat meat, you should be okay with killing the animal too.
Yeah.
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 I think that you should be okay with that. I would, and I eat meat. Like,
I believe that personally. I don't judge anybody else for like not being okay with that and still wanting to eat meat, but like personally, I feel strongly like I really want to go through that experience.
Yeah.
It is weird but you're right in the way that it is weird. It is weird to eat meat, but be like wholeheartedly like I will never do that.
Yeah.
I would. It's like when you think about.
But that's
the
probably the majority
There's
of
a
people.
lot of-
That's
yeah,
probably
for sure.
What I was just about to
overwhelming
say was,
majority.
if you think about the amount of people that probably wouldn't after going through the whole process, it's staggering.
How many people do you think are listening and watching right now going, stay in your lane?
Yeah, probably. Hey, speaking of that, good idea. Good idea. Let's move on to one of the wackier things I've seen. So this is a fun newish kind of segment that I want to kind of get into. Which I'll try my hardest not to offend Brian as we move forward into the future of this show, since he already fucking hates Friday episodes so much anyway. But this is something called traumatic iridodialysis. Traumatic iridodialysis.
Hey,
Big word.
If it's medical related, I'm okay. But as soon as you just start going into
Well, here we go.
Let's see.
So this is what happens when you shove a full milk cart up a carton of milk up your asshole. Okay. No, I'm joking. This has nothing to do with that. I just,
God.
hey man, that's medical. No, this is a weird thing that unfortunately can happen to an eye.
That's medical adjacent.
Oh no.
Check out this person's eye. Okay.
It looks like a nebula.
What do you think is happening here?
That's cool. It looks like a Utah cliffs in Utah.
Some type of calcification.
Yeah, it almost looks like the shape of a pelvis. That brown form in the middle of the dark part of the eye.
It looks like they got poop in their eyes.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? This is what would happen when you every time you do psychedelics, instead of your eyes dilating, they just do this.
If you're whoever's just listening out there, go to YouTube.
Right. You're going to want to see this.
You're going to want to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and look at this fucking image.
But it also looks kind of milky too.
It does, right? Well, so here's what's happening. A 48-year-old man presented to the ophthalmology clinic with a 1-week history of pain, double vision, and blurred vision in his left eye. The symptoms started after he was struck in the eye by a retracting rubber bungee cord that he was using to secure goods onto a motorcycle. So that fucking hurt.
Yeah, because he was really hauling on it.
Physical examination revealed bruising of the left eyelid. Okay, sure. And a distorted pupil. The corrected visual acuity with eyeglasses was 20/40 in the right eye and 20/200 in the left eye. So basically, his right eye was like, pretty good. 20/40 is like, that's all right vision. That's good. It's not perfect. It's not me. Just don't want to joke, don't want to brag or anything, but I got 20/40 vision. But actually, wait, 20/40 I think actually might be
better.
No,
it's less than 20.
Less than 20. Yeah, so 2010 would be even better. And I think I'm 2010. I might be 25, but I don't like it.
You can have better than 20/20?
You can, yep. But in the right eye, he had 2200. So he was basically not seeing
2200?
20-200.
Is it a fraction? Like, is it like you got 20/20 vision, your vision is 1?
I don't know. Louise, could you email us and let us know what the fuck that is? Thanks.
We need help.
Slit lamp examination of the left eye revealed a deformed iris with the upper portion sagging downward. So what you're seeing there, basically what happened here was your iris. So the part of your eye that is the color of your eye.
Oh, yeah.
His iris collapsed.
Oh. I didn't even know that was possible.
Neither did I.
I didn't know it was like a structure.
Yeah,
like that.
me either.
Neither did I. But when you look at the iris up close, it is this very like cosmic.
Very.
It looks like a galaxy. It's one of the most beautiful things in the living universe.
I love looking in eyes. Here, let me look in your eyes for a second.
Sure.
Oh wow.
Whoa, dude, your eyes are cool.
I know, dude.
Eyes
they're like
fucking
green and like I got.
Yeah.
I'm 6 foot.
There's something. 5'11", 6 foot. 6 foot.
6 feet.
So detached from the 9 o'clock position to the 3 o'clock position. So basically his whole iris just went blah and kind of gave up.
So he must have had brown eyes. Is that why it's?
I think he probably had brown eyes, and so what we're seeing. Again, Louise, please correct me, but behind that eye, I think is the black in the center of your eye. So all that brown shit that's caved in would have circled all around that black that we're seeing, and that's the color of your eye.
That's so nuts. So he had poop brown eyes.
It goes on to say no evidence of lens dislocation, traumatic cataract, or retinal injury was noted. So This is super wild. Like he wasn't really that injured. He just struck his eye, and what happened was his iris.
But then can he not
structure?
But then he can't see.
What does your iris
correctly?
Do? Like what purpose does that serve? Because I assume that
you're
he
asking me like I have the answer.
I can't remember what.
Let's ask Alexa.
This isn't gonna answer your question, but it was in one of the BBC. It wasn't Planet Earth, but it was like maybe it was Our Planet, or maybe it was like humans or whatever.
Yeah.
They did an episode or a section of an episode where they talk about like the evolutionary development of the eye over, from when things started to become things with eyes to now, and how the eyes developed. It was really, really fascinating. And they talk a lot about the iris and the pupil and everything.
To answer your question, Brian, though, about what the purpose of the iris is. So, we talk about your pupils getting bigger or smaller.
Right.
Actually, the pupils don't change in size. The iris does. So the iris regulates the amount of light that goes into your eye.
Sweet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So here it says that the separation of the iris from the ciliary body caused by blunt injury, so in this case, known as traumatic iridodialysis, can lead to blurred vision, monoclear double vision, or photophobia, which is like the inability to like take in light. Like you're like, you open the blinds and you're like, you experience a brief moment of photophobia in the morning.
Like vampire syndrome.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this guy's like all the time. The patient, so what happened to him was the patient underwent
The desire to drink blood.
underwent iridoplasty. So he had surgery on the iris and had restoration of pupil shape and improvement in visual acuity. 1 year later, so after the entire process, the patient had corrected visual acuity with eyeglasses, which turned out to be 20/50 in the left eye, and the iris remained attached with mild deformity.
Guys,
and
you know
without
what's
evidence of glaucoma.
You know what's crazy is thinking about, so like sometimes I just think about like how impressive surgery is, like some of the surgeries that they can do.
And
crazy.
I mean,
Think
doing
about-
surgery on that.
Think about that eye and think
that.
about somebody at some point in history going, okay, I think if we cut into this, we can like,
we can do
we can
do
sort of
something
like
here.
build this back or like remediate the damage that's been done to a certain
And then we'll
extent.
name it iridoplasty. Iridoplasty.
And you know
We'll
what's
name it
crazy
something super hard to say.
is that they never made any mistakes and no one ever suffered. That's the craziest part. Yeah.
What do you think is the craziest, the most impressive surgery? That
All of them? That's like when you
honestly.
that's like when you go past a graveyard and your dad goes, how many of them are dead?
No, he goes. No,
How
no,
many
no,
of
no,
it-
no,
what is it-
no,
what is it?
It's, do you know how many dead people are in there?
Right. All of them.
All of them. You know how many of those? Do you know how many dead people?
guys, my favorite,
Such a dad thing to say. My dad always said
my
that.
favorite puzzle is so a plane is flying over the Andes Mountains and it's going from the northern part of Argentina to southern Peru. As it's crossing over the borderlines, it crashes into the mountains. Where do you bury the survivors?
I've heard this one a bunch of times before, but
So have I.
I don't remember the.
I can't remember the answer.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, you don't bury survivors.
Right. Oh.
Well, you
See?
can if you're a fucking sadist.
But I don't
Oh,
know
you
the
survived
geography.
a plane crash.
The point of the whole
Yeah, right.
puzzle is
Bury
that
'em.
you just make it confusing, and then you say, "Where do you bury the
yeah,
survivors?"
exactly. Yeah, you did just make it confusing,
'Cause
especially
you're
because
trying
you
to
said
think about the geography. I'm not right.
northern
Yeah.
part. I was like northern.
Part of
What?
Argentina.
I was just thinking about guinea pig ice cream, which I did a quick Google, and it's from the flavor of the meat, not from the milk of the guinea
Oh,
pig. So it's just
what?
as I had
That
hoped.
sounds like ice cream.
It's
that
ice cream with
tastes
guinea
like
pig
shit.
meat flavor.
Yeah, they make beetle ice cream there too. I want to go to Peru.
Guys, they just take that shit, they put it into a Vitamix, and then
Is that a rip on? Is that a rip on like the Harry Potter beans, or are Harry Potter beans a rip
every
on that?
flavored beans or whatever.
Yeah.
The,
The,
do you guys
jelly,
ever
the
eat
jelly
those?
beans?
Is that what they were called?
Yeah,
every
I did.
flavored beans.
I can't remember.
Every flavored
There's
beans.
earwax flavor,
Yeah,
Booger
Yeah.
flavor.
toast.
Yeah.
I feel like there's poop.
cum flavor.
There's butter
yeah.
popcorn, which is nasty.
Santorum flavor.
They only introduced they only introduced the cum flavored one in the 7th book. In the earlier books, they refrained.
Yeah,
kept
as
it
they
pretty
grew
PG.
up.
Yeah, as they grew up, they introduced more
yeah.
cum.
Love it.
It became legal.
Well, this has been really fun.
As J.K. Rowling got more fucked. Because she got pretty crazy, right?
She
She was like, "Fuck it, let's do cum."
Well,
I've been wanting to do cum
Hey.
for 5 books now.
Guys, it wouldn't be the craziest
Wait,
thing
actually,
that
she
said.
did go off and write a bunch of erotic under a different name after
Oh, yeah?
Harry Potter. Yeah,
Stop.
yeah,
not erotic.
yeah. No, it was.
I read a Robert Galbraith stuff, the Silkworm series. It was actually pretty good. It was
Is
mystery.
that the pseudonym that she used, or
Yeah.
the alias?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert Galbraith.
Interesting.
Yeah. It
I
was
don't know
actually
enough about it.
Silkworm. It was pretty good.
Well, this was fun.
I mean, the book was, not J.K. Rowling.
let's wrap this fucker up. But
You're
hey,
a bad person.
Okay.
Let's wrap it up. Wrap it up, guys. Wrap it up, folks.
And here we go. Going to wrap it up. But before we do, if you want to reach out to us, you can always do that. letters@sickboypodcast.com, which I think something did come in. Someone sent you a little a correction sent to Brian. And this is a correction not coming from Louise. Surprise, surprise.
Guys, I got a message on Instagram from...
also, don't do that. Just send it to letters@sickboypodcast.com.
Hey, you
don't
can correct
DM
me
us on Instagram. But
It's a
DM us on
sure-
Instagram, but
Yeah.
just send a letter
Yeah,
to sickboypodcast.com.
I didn't ask this person if I could read this, but I'm sure it's fine. I just won't say.
Can you just say their first and last name
their
and just location on the planet where
it's
they're
from a person named Tara. I'm not going to give the last name. Who is an operating room nurse.
You've already said way too much.
And it's fine. It's fine. I'm sure.
How many
this is fine.
Taras? I'm going to Google it right now.
Too
Tara
many. Too
operators.
many.
Here, okay. So anyway, the message came in.
We're fucking with you, Brian.
The message came in from last week's episode. It was Barrier of Sanitation in quotation marks with a bunch of laughing emojis. Hello, OR nurse here. Just listened to the latest episode. I believe the words you were looking for are sterile field. You're welcome.
I think yours sounds better.
Barrier, sanitation, and sterile field are basically synonyms.
Yeah.
Guys, isn't it basically the same thing? Also, I'm sure in Grey's Anatomy they call it the barrier of sanitation, right?
Yeah, that being probably. They definitely wrote, what is it, sterile field? And then some producer came in and was like, nah, I don't like the sounds
Maybe the
of it.
Medical Association of America has like a trademark on sterile field. So they were like, well, we don't want to infringe on any trademarks here. We'll do it. We'll do barrier of sanitation.
And maybe this person comes from a different country than the
they
United
don't.
States. Are they an ER nurse in the
Canada.
US?
Jesus
in
Christ,
Canada.
we are really narrowing it down now,
but
guys.
If
Her name is
Tara's from-
Tara.
Okay.
She lives in Canada and
Okay,
she works
her
in an operating
address
room. I
is-
just found her. I just found her on LinkedIn.
But if she's okay, but to be real though, there's a
LinkedIn is
bunch of
helpful.
little things that are different that we call differently in the US and in Canada, like
Right,
icing
yeah.
sugar, like hydro. It took me years to figure out what the fuck
What do you
hydro
call
was.
what do you call icing sugar?
Frosting?
Frosting.
No, not frosting. Oh fuck, powdered sugar.
Powdered sugar.
Yeah.
I've heard
There's
it called
stuff like that,
too.
and then we call them pacifiers.
I just
Here,
want
they're
to say,
seethers,
guys,
stuff like that.
Tara's
Little
right.
things.
It is sterile or sterile.
I didn't. I never doubted
it-
Tara.
sterile means you don't make cum.
Sterile field is the name of the thing. And Tara sent a really sweet message, and I really appreciate the her reaching out
Did
and
she?
correcting us.
Okay, because
Yeah,
the way
she
you
did.
read it with lip.
I know.
You
That's
read
why,
it with a bit
That's
of
why I
lip.
wanted to
You did.
clarify, because I wrote her back and said, "Okay, thanks for that, Louise."
But
Okay,
hold on.
yeah.
But hold on though, Brian.
Fuck you.
Because I want to know. I want to know. Did she say you're welcome before you responded?
Yeah, but then she also sent another
That's a
message.
little-
Tara's a piece of shit.
No,
That's
no,
a
no,
little-
no,
Tara's a
no,
piece of shit.
That's a
You're
little
piece
bit-
of shit.
That's a little bit of lip.
No, she said you're welcome.
How dare you
and
talk to my
then-
friend like that?
And then she said,
Yeah,
before
only
I
I
responded,
belittle Brian that way.
before I responded, she said, "Great episode, by the way. If you guys ever want someone to shed light on what happens in the operating room, I can definitely do that." And put some heart emojis.
Well,
So,
I think you just
thanks,
did
Tara.
give us a
Thanks.
shed a little light on what happens in the operating room, and clearly it's talking down to anybody and everybody that you speak to, because the way you talk to my friend Brian does not make me feel very good at all.
Unacceptable.
Hey,
and like
guys.
Taylor said, we are the only ones who are allowed to talk shit to
Hey
him.
Tara, thanks for sending that message, because this is the only time that the guys have stood up for me. So
Hey Tara, what's the
I
weirdest
appreciate
thing
it.
you've
That's right.
pulled out of a butt?
Yeah, actually. If you,
Weirdest object that you've seen come out of a butthole.
That's right.
A butthole, please.
So with that, thanks for tuning in, folks. We are every week coming at you 3 times a week now, and you can listen to the podcast wherever you find podcasts.